Welcome back to the Wild Wormhole YouTube channel, where you'd never know what you're going to get like any good wormhole. We are here with the KIP Survival Tournament Round 12 with a couple guys who are still in it with their decks. Back returning since from Round 11 is Gj999 with the same deck against Giankqwerty. Who we saw in earlier rounds. So we'll see how this shapes up to be. So as a reminder, GJ's deck here is Logos, Saurian, Shadows, Worlds Collide with a couple of Eddies, Igors, Jargoggles. Saurian's got the Primus Unguis. I don't know how you say that. But anyways, it beefs up all the guys. And Ludos and Scutums protect his Shrix and Dilophosaurus and all those guys. And then Shadows has too much protect and some Yancey gangs and stuff like that. The focus is the fact that there's like a bajillion creatures. I think there's like 28 creatures, so or somewhere around there. And then he is playing Giankqwerty, or Giankqwerty. I wish I knew where these names came from. But he is playing, he or she, I guess I don't know. Axel, Malcol, and Kurt. I'm just going to stop right there and spare you all. It is a Coda deck, Dish Sanctum Shadows. Dish 3 copies of Fear, which against the Saurian deck is something you want. A Lash, double Dust Imp, double Schuler. Sanctum's got 3 Bulwarks, so we'll see if it's got some stuff to protect really well. A couple of inspirations. And then Shadows, double Ghostly Hand, double Poison Wave. Nerve Blast, Pawn Sacrifice, Relentless Whisper, 2 routine jobs. Just a good old classic Coda deck. Nothing too complicated about it, but the triple Fear is something I'm very curious about. We're going to go ahead and fast forward a little bit to when the gameplay starts. Again, I recorded these and then I left, so I accidentally left my cursor over one of the decks. I apologize for that, but G drops Gargoggle, Giant drops Schuler and Toxin, and we're off to the races here. Again, true survival. You play with 3. You bring 3 decks to the tournament, and once the deck loses, it's eliminated. And if you run out of decks, you're out of the tournament. If you don't run out of decks, you win the tournament. Here comes Logos again. Igor's gonna draw some cards, or draw 1 card and discard a couple. So 2 Jargoggles out there already. I love the mind game that Jargoggles bring in. 2 of them, it's like even spicier. And here comes Eddie, already archiving. Looks like Jargoggle fights into Toxin and pops. I missed it. I'm sorry, guys. Not sure what Jargoggle popped there, but Giankqwerty goes to Sanctum. Bulwark comes out to protect Toxin, so there's a little bit of. There's Protectrix, Raiding Knight. Protecting Toxin is very interesting because if you can just keep discarding cards in their hand reliably, it's really strong. Armageddon Cloak comes down on Bulwark. And Inspiration comes and uses Toxin to reap and discards Hawk. There we go. So he's trying to control G's hand a little bit. G goes back to Logos, plays Tau Vapors, draws a couple and archives 1, so Eddie gets a little more power. Here comes Quant. Igor fights Toxin, knocks off the armor. Interesting. Jargoggle reaps, Eddie reaps. Okay, so I think he forgot about the armor from Bulwark because I don't think he would have fought Igor into him otherwise. So Giankqwerty got a little buff there. All right, so both players with 2 amber going into turn 3, or second half of turn 3, I should say. He's got some power in the Sanctum house. He could easily kill that Eddie. He is going back to Sanctum. Drops Commander Remiel, which allows him to reap and use a friendly non-Sanctum creature. So that's very good because he can continue to use Toxin. So he uses Raiding Knight to fight Quant. Wonder if he uses one of the other guys to fight Eddie. Protectrix Reaps. Heals Raiding Knight fully. And he Reaps with Bulwark. That's it. Leaves Eddie on the table. Okay. Interesting. So he kills Quant, leaves Eddie. Quant does allow the house cheating, so I can see why he went there. Drops Saurian down. Axiom of Grisk is going to kill a bunch of things. He wards his Eddie. There you go. Bulwark stays out because of the Armageddon cloak, but Tribute drops down, so he's able to capture a lot of amber onto Primus Inguis. So because he has 5 amber on that dino, every other creature has plus 10 power. So that Eddie is now a 13. Might be a little harder to kill that Eddie now. Also, that Yancey Gang and Falaphosaurus, I mean, don't scoff at that. We saw in the last round the Falaphosaurus did work for G. He was able to reap several times and dig through his deck for the cards he needed to see. So that's pretty strong. All right, so Giankqwerty drops Key to Dis, and that's it. He just played the Key to Dis just to kill things. So, which, I mean, makes sense. So now he's got to go dinos. G's got to go dinos. Try to find a way to ward that Primus Unguis, because otherwise that Key to Dis is going to kill it, get 5 amber. So, and there's the Scutum. Oh, man. That's just got to break Giankqwerty's heart right there. He had the answer, and he was 1 turn too late. So, so there's a Scutum. And so Falaphosaurus was able to reap and probably pull that out, I imagine. And then Odiak comes out. Doesn't have anything to capture, though, so he can't stop the stealing. So he still pops the Key to Dis to kill him, but he doesn't get the amber from that because of the Scutum. So still a good play. And he's not that far behind. In fact, he's actually ahead right now with 6 amber and in check. So plays the safe place. Now, GJ does have Hawk, so safe place seems a little risky. But he goes back to the Logos and plays Igor, Daughter, Eddie, 3 Logos creatures you always want to see. So he now has 4 cards in his archives, which makes Giankqwerty's keys cost 10. And that Shadow Self ain't doing any damage, so Eddie is safe for now. If he had a pawn sacrifice, he might be able to kill him. We'll see which direction he wants to go. He uses Poison Wave. And then Relentless Whisper. That'll also do it. Which puts him at 8 amber. And still got that Shadow Self out there, so he finishes on check. He did use safe place to put an amber on there. All right, so goes ahead and drops too much protect to steal, which is nice. He gets to steal 2 amber and he gets the 1. So he puts himself in check. Plays Umbra, Simon, Yancey Gang, Scally Caper right next to the Shadow Self. Gosh, he loves Scally Caper. If you've never played against Scally Caper, he gets to come in and he destroys. You play him on your opponent's battle line, and then at the end of that person's turn, Scally Caper destroys one of his neighbors. So, and he has 2 power with Skirmish, so you can fight with him, but you can't necessarily kill him by fighting. So you got to find another way to kill him. Now he is playing Pawn Sacrifice, so that's one way to do it. He reaps with Shadow Self, and plays Ghostly Hand, and there's the Pawn Sacrifice. That's pretty much the best way to do it right there. So he saves his Shadow Self. I forgot to mention Giankqwerty did forge his first key, and GJ is still in check. We'll see if he has anything to pull him off. Looks like he does not. So G's going to forge here. And he lost Umbra and Simon. So G's going back to Saurian. He drops Ludo. And the Golden Spiral. Senator Strix. So Ludo's going to protect that Amber on Strix. And then Tri-Syrian Legionary is going to protect him even more with Taunt and a Ward. So that Strix could get dangerous unless he has got some answers here. Going back to this. Looks like he's deciding which way to go. I wish we could see in their hands. I'm sorry, guys. But Giankqwerty, he's ahead on Amber. They both have one key. But G's board is really strong right now. He drops the Lash of Broken Dreams for some potential control. He plays Mind Barb, discards G's Breaker Hill at random. Ooh, plays Fear, but it's not as strong with that because of that ward that Strix has right now. So I wonder, do you get the Yancey gang? Do you pop the ward? You don't necessarily want to do Legionary. You get more advantage out of that warding. Looks like he's, trying to decide what to do here. All right, so he does opt to get rid of the ward token and then plays a second Fear. Okay, well, that'll do it. All right, so that's how you get rid of Strix. So because he double feared, he did get up to check. So Giankqwerty is at check right now. G goes back to Saurian, plays out the Strix. Doesn't play him next to the Legionary. Interesting. I wonder if that was an accident. So he uses Golden Spiral to ready and use Yancey Gang so that he can steal, which makes total sense. And Odiak captured, so he did pull him off a check. Legionary fights Shadow Self, probably worried about what could happen or how that Shadow Self could be protected. So kind of protecting his future self there. I'm surprised he didn't put Strix next to the taunt. Gormavom comes down. Mind you, this has been a long tournament. We are in round, 12. I believe this is round 12. So, all right. So Giankqwerty went with Sanctum, pulled out Bulwarks, and put 4 armor onto Shadow Self. So there you go. But did not get to check. All right, G drops the Wormhole Technician and the Sanitation Engineer, so going to Logos. Jargoggle comes back out again. Grabs a card under there. This board is getting super wide. And that's it. All right, so Giankqwerty, he has forged the second key. And has a little, again, has the Amber and key advantage, but not the board advantage. So we'll see what G decides to do here. He's got options in every house. I mean, sorry, it is Giankqwerty's turn, not G's turn. All right, so he goes with this and uses Gorm of Om to destroy the Golden Spiral, which makes sense. Plays Pit Demon, Schuler, Dust Imp, and the Pit Demon is well protected there, and the Dust Imp. Wow, that's pretty strong. Those Dust Imps represent a lot of Amber. Pit Demon represents some stolen Amber and that Lash of Broken Dreams. So Setting up for a great future turn here. All right, so he did blinding light on the Saurians. So Saurians are all stunned right now, which really slows him down, slows G down. He goes to all right, so he goes to Logos. Wormhole Technician reaps and pulls out a daughter. You gotta love the wormholes, guys. You gotta respect the wormhole. All right. Sanitation Engineer reaps, gets rid of the Scally Caper. He does drop Eddie and archives a card, increasing his opponent's key costs, and then Jargoggle reaps. So puts him at 5. Not quite check, but pretty dang close. These boards are getting big now. So we'll see where Giankqwerty goes. He can reap with Schuler, kill the Dust Imps, and steal a Pit Demon. That only puts him at 6, and he needs 7 to go to check. This has been a good back and forth. This has been a fun game to watch. I feel like it's these moments when you start hitting double-digit turns where like the really great players start to show themselves because they are able to see the matrix, so to speak, where they start to see their lines of play, they start to see their opponent's lines of play, and find their way through it. So this is shaping up to be an exciting finish. So Giankqwerty trying to decide what house to go to because, again, every decision, this is my experience, every decision once you get past turn 10, all decisions matter, but especially when you hit double digits when it's this close, it's pretty good. Okay, so Schuler fights Odiak. Well, did he get the amber? He did get wait, where'd the amber go? Oh, Ludo. Ludo protected the amber, that's why. All right, so Pit Demon steals. Is he throwing his Dust Imps into something? Can't hit the Eddie. He's protected by the taunt. All right, so he's playing Fear to return Yancey Gang. Just slowing him down. He's got a wide board, but it's stunned, and he's returning things. It's a solid play. Triple Fear. You just hate to see it as a Saurian deck. All right. What's he doing with the Dust Imps? Reaping, fighting. All right, so he's reaping. Reaping, maybe trying to set up a future disc turn. I mean, to be able to lash the Broken Dreams a couple turns in a row, it's not a bad thing. And his other guys are his other disc guys are protected. So G has to be very careful on how he approaches this because the Bulwarks are protecting the big disc guys. The Dust Imps, he doesn't care if Giankqwerty doesn't care if the Dust Imps die. It's pretty. I think that was a pretty good turn from Giankqwerty. He's only 4 amber, but he's setting up a future turn. All right, so G goes back to Logos. Igor comes down. He's going to look at some cards, see what he wants to pull out. Trying to decide what to do. Again, we're in turn 12, guys, so it's getting close. All right, so he discarded. Wow, did he discard an Eddie? He discarded an Eddie. So maybe he got the Tau Vapors and played another Igor. Wow. I am super intrigued by that line of play. Engineer Reeps discards the Umbra. Wormhole Reeps reveals Quant and is able to play it. That's not a terrible thing. The battle lines have gotten so wide that we can't even see the whole screen. Just remember the eddies on the far right that we can't see anymore. Daughter Reeps. Jargal Reeps. Okay, so G is able to push up to 9 amber in case he Lash of Broken Dreams. And it goes back to Giankqwerty. Man, I'm so intrigued. If he had taken the Eddy, he would have archived. Well, he played the Tau Vapors instead, so he would have archived that second one. So the Giankqwerty's keys would cost 10 right now. Now, granted, he could just kill those with the bulwarks really easily because he doesn't have. Well, the Eddy's protected by a Legionary. I don't know. He obviously did it for a very specific reason, so we'll see how it plays out. Oh man, this is the chess side of Keyforge that I love. I love watching these like really close end games where again, it separates the great players from guys like me. I'm great at commentary and content creation. Playing, I don't know so much. All right, so Gomer Vom comes down. Sequus comes down. Shadow Self. Oh, Bulwark fights Quant. Damage goes on Shadow Self. Bulwark fights Wormhole Technician. Redirects to Shadow Self. I actually don't know that it hits the armor there. I think the damage is, if I remember correctly, they ruled on that the damage goes. Yeah. Okay. So so Dave Cadero, he's commenting on it too. That I don't. Yeah. So I think Shadow Self should be dead. I believe because it would hit 2. Yeah, I think Shadow Self should be dead. But Giankqwerty plays Inspiration, readies, and uses the Dust Imp to fight Igor. Dust Imp dies. He gains 2. Does a second Inspiration, uses the Dust Imp. So kills the other Dust Imp after fighting Igor. Gets himself up to 8 amber and check on his 3rd key. Does he have any capture out there? I'm not seeing anything right now. All right, looks like Giankqwerty's just catching up with the chat here. Looks like they might take some time to clear up what just happened. I will just take a momentary pause. All right, so each bulwark took 1 damage, which should have gotten a Shadow Self instead of reduced by the armor. Yeah. Yeah. By the way, G did forge his 2nd key, and he's at 3 amber. So needs 3 more to get into check, but needs to pull Giankqwerty off of check in order to survive. I don't see anything on board that he can do, but there are those cards under Jargoggle. Yeah, they're still talking about the ruling. This is where we need some Jeopardy music for the commentary videos. Sorry, guys. Looks like Gj999 is going to go ahead and play. Oh, well, there you go. Just play Axiom of Risk and it doesn't matter anymore. So he's warding Eddie and destroying everything else. Jargoggle plays Hawk under Gok. And the other Jargoggle plays Trust No One. So he steals. Is able to pull him off check. Destroys Lash of Broken Dreams. Drops the Perfectus Ludo. Tributes twice. Captures 5 air. Drops the Scutum. Plays Philophosaurus. Wow, what a turn. Quester Jarda. Oh, man. So GJ catapults themselves right into the lead with 8 amber, and he only needs 6. There's no board on Giankqwerty's side, and he only has 3 amber because he's able to steal and capture a ton of amber and protect it on Ludo with the Scutum. So here we go, people. Wow. So now Giankqwerty finds themselves in the defensive seat. They got to figure out a way to pull G off of check on turn 13. Question is, do they have something? Okay, goes to Shadows. That's one way to do it. Discards Dusk Runner. Uses routine job. Steals 1. Does he have the other routine job? Plays Pawn Sacrifice. I feel like they would have played that. Uses Safe Place. That's it, people. That is the game. Gj999. Well done. Found a way to come back. And that'll do it. So Gj999 advances. And wow, what a game. That was fun to watch. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And we'll catch you in the next wormhole coverage of the KIP Survival Tournament. See you guys.